Ooh, what's up, UGW fam? Weather is terrible. It's freaking winter. It sucks. It's cold. It's wet. It's rainy. It's snowy. It's blah. I'm in the mood for something warm, something cozy, something to get me going. I got the perfect thing for y'all. It's one of my favorites. Chicken and freaking dumplings. Woo! Oh my gosh, this recipe is amazing. I'll leave you to it. Enjoy the video. Let me know if you try these recipes because I want to hear about it. Anyway, guys, much love to you all. Stay strong, stay blessed, stay freaking savage. Peace and love. God bless. Chicken and dumplings. Absolutely one of my all-time favorite foods. Whew, been a long time. I don't even know what made me decide to make this dish. In fact, I used to think this recipe was so hard, so difficult, like one of those crazy take all day things. Turns out, no. In fact, it could be crazy easy, even easier than what I'm doing here. So simple. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do is just get your broth ready to go. The broth base with all the goodies and all the spices and all the wonderful flavors. It's gonna bring everything home in the end. I'm just chopping up a quick onion here. Super simple stuff. Guys, pro tip, leave the root on your onion. If you have an issue like me where those juices get up on your eyeballs and your eyeballs just wanna burst out, they burn so bad and you just start crying everywhere, leave the root on and it won't bleed so much. Also, you wanna make sure your onions are fresh because when they're not fresh, they bleed more. Neither here nor there. Chop up your onions just like you see here, stick them in a bowl, stick them to the side. We're gonna use those in a minute. Then we're gonna go ahead and get some garlic together. Oof, I love garlic. I'm a fan of garlic. I'm garlic obsessed. It's probably good because it's kind of a really good antiviral, to be honest with you. But I love me some garlic. Any dish that says like 2 cloves, 4 cloves, I use a whole bulb. I just love it. Maybe that's too much for you, and if it is, just use less. No big deal. So just gonna give that a nice rough chop. Basically what's gonna happen with all of these garlics and Jones is they're gonna disappear anyway in your broth. So you're not gonna worry about that. Just give them a rough chop. I like to give them a rough chop like this only because it takes a lot longer for them to break down in your broth, which means more flavor gets put into that broth, I find. Absolutely yummy. If you want, you can add some celeries and some other stuff to build your broth. That's okay, I chose not to. I kept it real simple here, just some onions and some garlic. Now I'm using chicken tenderloins today, so I'm not gonna use a whole chicken. So I did go ahead and cut my broth with some store-bought chicken broth. You're gonna need about 4 cups of chicken broth and about 4 cups of regular water. Grab you a heavy pot, or if you have one of these wonderful freaking creations, this is a Dutch oven, fantastic for the kitchen. You can do all kinds of stuff with it. So if you got the money, invest in one of these. It'll last you forever. It's worth the money. Anyway, I'm not here to sell you a Dutch oven. If you don't have one of these, just use a heavy bottom pot, whatever you like. If you only have a thin bottom pot, that's okay too. Throw you a little bit of oil in there, put your onions and your garlic in there, let them sweat off. They're gonna get so fragrant, so wonderful. Medium to medium high heat. You don't wanna burn your garlic. You burn your garlic, it's gonna turn everything bitter. So be careful here, don't burn your garlic. Now I use grapeseed oil, it's a high heat oil that gives me a little play here in case I screw something up, leave something unattended for too long. High burning oil like a grapeseed oil, or be your friend. I threw a little butter in there because, well, butter, and butter's yummy. Now for my seasonings, I kept it real simple here. I like it simple. I threw a whole heaping thyme, about a tablespoon of black pepper. I use a little bit of thyme. I use a little bit of oregano. I use a little bit of rosemary. Maybe a tablespoon, maybe half a tablespoon. Rosemary tends to kick a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I did put a little bit of smoked paprika because I love smoked paprika. I love the flavor that it brings to pretty much anything. It's one of my favorite seasonings. And then I put a touch of red pepper flake. You can put more if you like. but I just put a little bit, maybe a teaspoon in there, half a teaspoon, because I enjoy that little bit of heat that comes in towards the end. You know, you're enjoying something, you go through the journey, the flavor town, the awesomeness. A little bit of the heat at the end to warm you up. Whew. Good. Throw your broth in there and your water in there and go ahead and deglaze the bottom of your pot. Get all those wonderful flavors up from the bottom, get all that incorporated. You're gonna go ahead and bring that to a boil, because at this point I wanna cook my chicken. Now again, I chose chicken tenderloins because I love the flavor. They cook quickly, so I don't have to cook it all day. And they break down so easy. I mean, they're tender. I mean, they're tenderloins. You know what I mean? Delicious. Throw the top on there, let that boil for about 8 minutos. Wonderful. Now your chicken is gonna add a whole bunch of wonderful flavor to that broth. You're already gonna have that nice base, but just give it a taste. Give it a taste. The biggest thing about cooking, ladies and gents, taste, taste, taste. Right here I found that I need a little bit more, so I put a little touch of black pepper. I put a little bit more garlic powder, because as you know, as I mentioned before, I love me some garlic. I'm a garlic fiend. But put what you like, whatever you think might go well in your broth. At this point, your chicken's still hot. It's far easier to go ahead and shred it now, so just get that taken care of. Just finely shred it, cover it up, set that in a bowl to the side. You're gonna need that later. Now, we can start on our dumplings. This is a fun part, right? This is when you get your kids involved, you know what I mean? Make a mess, get flour all over yourself, have a good time, have a party, you know what I mean? 2 cups of all-purpose flour, a little bit of baking powder. Go ahead. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And just a pinch of salt, for that flavor, because you're taking everybody to Flavor Town with this dish. Give it a whisk, make sure that's fully incorporated. Throw you about 2 tablespoons of cold butter. I use that Tillamook. I don't know if you ever tried Tillamook. Tillamook's fire, Tillamook butter, I don't know, but use what butter you like, it doesn't really matter. I use salted butter as well. Cut that into your mixture, keep them, you know, slightly big, like pea-sized chunks. Then you're gonna throw your buttermilk in there. Lovely, lovely. Give that a stir. Thoroughly mix it until it starts to form a nice sticky dough. Mush that all down, and you're gonna roll that out to a floured cutting board. Now again, this stuff's sticky. It will stick to everything. It is crazy sticky. So be sure to put some flour on your hands. Make sure your work surface is thoroughly floured, lightly, thinly, because you don't want to add any more flour to your dough that you don't have to. Give that a nice mush, start shaping it. From here, I don't know, have fun. These are dumplings, okay? You can have whatever shapes, whatever sizes you see fit. You can have little balls, you can have little triangles, you can cut out little snowmans. I don't know, whatever you like. I chose to roll mine out. You want it about 1/2 inch thick, just like you see here. Be careful with your rolling pin. Let the rolling pin do the work for you. Don't go smishing it, because you really want these to be nice and flaky and pillowy and light. You know what I mean? The more you mash, the more you work, the tougher they'll be. Roll it out to about 1/2 inch thick, and then give them a cut, roll them up into balls, doesn't really matter. Grab them, throw them in your broth and bring that to a simmer. Just one at a time though, one at a time, because if you don't, they'll stick. So just one at a time. Give that a nice stir. Now, you're gonna let this go for about 20 minutes. Just make sure you don't walk away for too long, because what happens is all those wonderful flavors get stuck to the bottom of your pan, I've noticed, and you wanna go ahead and give it a stir, scrape up the bottom, make sure all of that is going in there. After 20 minutes, you'll see it starts to reduce, starts to thicken up. Go ahead and put your chicken in at this point. Let that cook for about 10 minutes or so, until it really condenses down into a creamy, thick gravy. You're gonna notice those dumplings start to get a lot more translucent, a lot more plump, a lot more soft, a lot more delicious, wonderful. And just keep stirring, guys. As soon as you start to really see that pull away from the pot, you're just about there. Just Get it as thick as you like it. This is about where I like to be here. Put that into a bowl and enjoy yourself. I'm talking, this is hot, ready, wonderful. It's like eating spoonfuls of love, spoonfuls of joy, spoonfuls of happiness. All those little plumped pillows, those wonderful dumplings, the tender, juicy shredded chicken, that massively flavorful, warm, gravy-like broth cooked down. Ooh, just look at this B-roll. Oh, yeah. This is the kind of meal you want to take your shoes off and wiggle your toes. I'm telling you. Banging delicious. So good, so simple, so freaking easy. You gotta make it, guys. Oof.
Yeah? Yeah. Oh yeah.